Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cheryls Home Cooking. So let's get started. Welcome to Cheryls Home Cooking, and today what I'm going to show you is my hamburger cheesy casserole recipe. It's super duper good, so let's get started. So I'll cut up one onion. This recipe is really good. Once my onion is all diced, I'll place it in my frying pan with a little bit of olive oil. Now I'll place it in my frying pan. I have my burner on medium. I'll place a little olive oil. Place my onions in. I'll let the onions saute a little bit before I add in my ground beef. So now that my onions are sauteing in my frying pan, I have 2 garlic cloves. I'll chop them up. Now that my garlic is chopped, I'll add this in my frying pan as well. You can see how nice the onions are sauteing. Now I'll add in the garlic. Stir that around. Now I'll go get my ground beef. I'm using a little more than 2 pounds of the lean ground beef. It's 93% lean, 7% fat. So now I'll place this in my frying pan. I'll break it down. I'll place my oven on 350. I'll let the ground beef cook down a little bit and then I'll come back and break it up. Now I'll break down my hamburger again. I don't like big chunks. So as I'm breaking it down, I'm mixing it as well. For this recipe, I like using the lean ground beef. While I'm waiting for my ground beef to brown, I have 5 red potatoes. I washed them. What I'll do is slice them on my mandolin. You want real thin slices. I'll place them in my bowl and continue slicing. That's what they look like. So I'll place my casserole dish on my counter and go check on my ground beef. Oh yeah, it's looking good. You'll bake this in your oven on 350 for about 30 minutes or until the potatoes are nice and tender, because everything else is cooked. Once 30 minutes are up, then you place some cheddar cheese on top. Cook it for another 10 minutes until the cheese is melted, and then your cheesy hamburger casserole is done. This looks good. So now I'll turn my burner off, take my hamburger off of my stove and put it in my casserole dish. So now I'll place it in my casserole dish. This is why you want the lean hamburger too, because you don't want all that grease in here. I'm just breaking up the larger chunks that I see. Now I'll place the potato slices on top. I'm just overlapping them. Depending upon the size of your potatoes too, you might need more or less. You can see some of these are really large. So I'm just covering up all my hamburger. I have a few extra slices. So the 5 was perfect for me. That's what it looks like. So now I'll place aluminum foil on top. I'll place it in my 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. or until the potatoes are nice and tender. I'll put a fork through my potatoes to see if they're done. Once they're done, then I'll take them out and put some cheddar cheese on top, put it back in the oven, wait for the cheddar cheese to melt. And this cheesy hamburger casserole recipe is done. Now I'll check on my casserole. Few more minutes and it's coming out of the oven. So now I'll take my dish out of the oven. Potatoes are nice and tender. So now I'll place about 14 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese on top. Just sprinkle it around. Cover your potatoes. So now I'll place my hamburger casserole back in my oven, uncovered. I'll leave the aluminum foil off until the cheese is nicely melted. So into the oven it goes. So now I'll take my casserole out of the oven. Look at how beautiful that cheese melted. So now I'll put a little on my plate. Now doesn't that look good? Look at how good this looks. So now I'll place a little bit of salt and pepper. There's the pepper. A little bit of salt. This really looks good. So now I'll give this a try. It's nice and cheesy. So I'll take some of the potato, the cheese, and the hamburger. Now I'll give it a try. It's really good. This is really good. Deserves a second bite. Perfect. You're really gonna like this recipe. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking and watching me make one of my family's favorite recipes. I'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking and watching me make one of my family's favorite recipes. Give it a try.